When you say greed of your net worth, what percentage? Like if you were to do a pie, do you trade with?
Not even a fraction. So
Like 10% or 5% or something like that?
I'm a full disclosure type of person. I have a pretty good account. It's 8 figures. It's an 8-figure trading portfolio.
Do you trade with the entire account?
No. And so what I trade with is I trade with $40,000.
Yeah.
So even let's just say, just
it's not going to wipe you out, regardless, whatever happens.
Just do 10 million, right?
Yeah.
If I lost 40,000, what's that? 4%?
Yeah.
Not even, right?
Yeah.
You know, so and then from there I'm only risking, you know, like I said, $2,000, $5,000, right?
Yeah.
So it's a really small amount. What I teach the members to do is just use 100,000. If you had $100,000 account, the rule of thumb per trade is you should never lose more than 1% to 3%. So off of 100,000, that means per trade, anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 loss is the maximum.
Yeah.
And then per day, no more than 5%. So if I had 100,000, if anywhere I got close to $5,000 loss, I'm done. I'm closing my laptop, walking away.
Yeah.
And of that 100,000 now, and you guys could go back, rewind, and we'll get this math. Of that 100,000, I'm only playing with 10%.
Yeah.
So then that's 10 G's. But if I make 20% off that 10 G's, there's 2,000.
Yeah.
If I lose 20%, I just lost 2 G's. Is that 2 G's going to hurt the 100,000?
Yeah. Right.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how you do it. A lot of where people make mistakes, and I'm glad you pointed that out, is they trade with half their freaking account, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
You know?
Like I had friends that did extremely well in crypto the last few years. And they're like, oh, you should buy, they were telling me to buy ETH. You should buy a lot of ETH, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, how much should I buy at one time? He's like, oh, no, never buy anything all at one time. Like temper your buys over the course of like a month or two. And like every
so
week
they're
or
like
so,
dollar cost averaging.
Yeah. Like just because you don't know how it's going to play out, and we think it's going to, like he thinks anyway, and I have no idea. I'm not a crypto guy, but he thinks that ETH and some of these crypto like Bitcoin are going to do really well over the next 5 to 10 years.
I mean, he could be right, he could be wrong, but so that what you just talked about, it's a concept in the trading world as dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where the price is going to go, you don't know where that true bottom is or that true top is. So over time, they'll just keep adding to it, and that's more of from an investor standpoint of looking to hold for the long term. Day trading, the only time I ever add into something is if it's working in my favor. You don't want to add to your losers, because now what should be, you know, going back to this, what should be $1,000 loss now just became like a $5,000 loss or $10,000 loss.
Do you ever trade Did you ever trade crypto when like
No.
those altcoins were like bumping?
No, so many people wanted me to get into it, and I had a buddy back in like early 2014 when I got in Amgen was like, dude, you should buy Bitcoin, dude. I'm telling you. And I was like, get out of here, dude. I look back and I'm like, dang, I should have got some.
Yeah. It's really like, and this could be like just me, like, but I get all these DMs, or at least like, before it was Forex, day trading, crypto. It was nonstop, dude. Nonstop. Yeah. I got a DM 2 days ago from a guy saying that I just screwed him over. And I was like, who are you? And he's like, oh, and it was an account, Thisisjohnwilliams, which is my username, 01.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I get
it's
that
not
all the
even
time,
me, dude. Like, I have no idea.
All the time.
And like, apparently he like invested with some guy. I'm like, that's why people like have a bad vibe towards a lot of different things. Is because like, there's just so much like weird stuff going on.
I could go in and look at, if you go in and type Stock Market Wolf on Instagram, there's like
the hundreds.
Like hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds. And it's unfortunate, but yeah, it gives people a bad taste, and I think it's just you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so when it's like going to a restaurant, right? And it could be like an amazing restaurant, and your first time there, like they're late for giving you your food, and like your food comes out cold. So your first impression is very bad.
Yeah.
So normally what are you going to say? I'm not going to ever go back.
Yep.
Right? I'm never going to go back. But it's like it's a freaking 5-star restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, now you're missing out on some really good food just because of one bad experience.
So my wife will always say like, we'll find a restaurant we like. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to go like 3 times a week. Like, and we just like play it out. And then one experience is like, meh. I'm like, I'm never going there again.
Dude, I do that, dude.
Never going again. Yeah, like I'm like done. It's like I have no forgiveness with like, and then I always say like, when we have, if you're in the restaurant business,
it should be good.
But it's so hard to win. right?
It is.
Because people's expectations are through the roof.
Yeah.
And like they go there expecting like incredible service, incredible pricing, like really good food. And it's like, it seems like a really challenging business. But like, it's funny you said that with food.
Yeah. I had that same rule where it was like, you could tell my wife and my kids, and it's so funny because we'll go and like, they'll be like, there was this one day they brought all their food and I was the last one to get it. And it was like 30 minutes later, everyone's already done with their food. And I'm just sitting there and I was like, we're never coming back here again.
Yeah.
We're never coming back here again. And my kids are like, oh, Dad, And so like, I learned to be like, all right, I'll give it another shot. Like, okay. But before, one and done, man. One and done. And if you're my favorite restaurant, I give you 3 strikes.
Yeah.
Like if I
3 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 is a lot. Yeah. But like, it's like, I feel like everything is like, it was the last couple of years. When it comes to either shopping, spending money, learning, education, consuming content, everything has changed so much to an extent in which people can't comprehend or realize. Like, it's really unbelievable. And I feel like over the next couple of years, what's likely going to happen is that we're going to continue to see a more extreme version of this, like shorter attention spans. We're going to start seeing like people expecting things so fast on demand that it's going to make it hard for small business. Like, have you heard about Amazon doing like these drone deliveries?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah.
How do you compete with that?
You
know
can't.
what I mean? Like, if you're sitting at home and you're like, oh, drone, like I was with my buddy German, I don't know, like 6 months ago, and he wanted something from Amazon. And he's like, oh, here. And it was like going to be delivered in like 2 hours. Like, how the hell do you do that? Like, how would you compete with that? And with the drones and stuff like that, if they can just drop it at your property in like 30 minutes, like, it's absolutely nuts. But like, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to step in and do really cool things and make money and invest. Like, I think day trading could be cool if you put the work in.
You have to put the work in.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.